For example, people like you cannot deny yourself. You exist, you as the being, or you're caught up in the thinking worries. You see? So then there are people who are into social worker, political worker, and they think they are improving the world, improving themselves. But what Sadhguru Ramana, you read one line. What was that line? That self realization is the ultimate, because instead of going help others, first help yourself, find out who am I. You see. So the real satisfaction comes when the mind introspect itself. Uh, because normally we get caught up in the movie of the mind, always feel good, feel bad, good, bad in yo-yo, because we encapsulated in the time, and then we start thinking, this is me. This is me means the body mind. Yes, you're reflecting as body mind, but the eternal spirit, the eternal light is not visible with the eyes, and that always is the fundamental foundation of your being. So, Wordsworth, the great poet, says, what is this life? Full of care, not a minute to look and stare. 98% people get consumed by the thinking. Thinking means a reflective movie made by the mind, of the mind, for the mind. They don't even go beyond to understand what is this body mind. Like people watch a movie on the TV and they get so much glued in the movie, so much that they forgot that without the screen there is no movie. So it's nothing wrong with the movie as long as you are aware that it's just a movie. It will move. So the life is like a reflection. Take it easy, take easy. Why people say, oh, don't take it too serious. Too serious means it
Unknown caller.
it gets stuck. So, it gets stuck. So what you You are with me, you follow, or what's not clear?
Mm,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, if the self is already
Yeah.
within us, we don't have to search for it, we don't have to find it,
Yeah, correct.
we just have to recognize it.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
But
because
what is it? How do we know it when we see it? What is it?
yeah, what happened is that we are so much used means so much caught into this thinking. Thinking is more like a thing. Thing mean very, very. That's why people called spiritual versus material. Like, for example, very similar to understand the ocean and the wave. The wave is separate, yet it is not separate. It's a interconnected wholeness. So is the uh, self, not you are made up of, but you are it. You are it means that the breathing, you are breathing, the life is not separate from the self. Without the breath, you are no more there. So, but within the breathing, not only the oxygen, but something um, invisible, which is the divine light manifesting through the vehicle of breath. And when mind become quieter, and goes in the silence, then only, then only you can uh, start experiences the infinite unboundedness. With the words and with the words and language, we cannot figure it out because the tool we use for words, the brain or mind, is only the time bound, past, future, future, past. You see?
Mm.
Yeah. So it is not the tool. We have the tool, the body mind. It does not go even close to that because the eternity, infinite, we try to figure out the time uh, through time, but yet is beyond that, you know. The human being has invented, see, because time is just a thinking pattern. Illusion, why it is illusory? Because 10 hours go like 10 minutes when you are uh, with love, okay? And then when you start hating the same person, the 10 minute become expand like 10 hours. So what is it? Time, man has invented as a clock, as a watch, just for easement. You are to meet someone, you are to get a plane, you are get a train. So you need, that time bounded awareness. And yet it is beyond it. For example, people make statues of gold, whether it is Krishna or Christ or Moses or anywhere, but it is not bound by that golden statue. It can reflect a feeling, but yet beyond it. So is the life flowing through you, in you, through the breath, but yet beyond and beyond, everywhere and nowhere. No, it cannot be cut and divided because the wholeness cannot be separated. You are in it, above it, below it, above it, all. Uh, that's why the best representation the mind can figure out nothingness. Nothingness means cannot be figured out or measured or that. You know, thingness mean no thingness, idness. Then mind tried to always calculate and figure out with the mind. Mind is not the tool. The best only it can un- figure it out. That is not unfigurable. And don't try to because it's not in the time bound. That's why ah, that's what the sound ah comes. Ah means where time is blown away. In other words, the spiritual books, they call it neti neti, or they call it, yeah, the silence of the mind, or Tao Te Ching. They say the truth cannot be spoken. And it does not want to figure out because in the sound sleep, already the presence prevail and it does not like to become because the pleasure and joy of being is million times bigger than becoming and little pleasures. Like for you as a doctor, you'd see anesthesia. Anesthesia is more closer reflection of the sound sleep because you don't do anything in anesthesia. You are just like the body is at rest, and there are other people cutting and kneading, and it, you see. So you cannot figure with the mind the maximum you experience. What do you experience in anesthesia? Nothing. The very tool you experience is the other name of thinking because past future time capsule is gone and you don't like to. So you don't like to become a scientist or a religious leader, neither of the two, because the mini death of sound sleep is so exhilarating, so ecstatic. Ecstatic means take you out from the mind. Ecstasy cannot be compared to the mental pleasure or physical pleasure. It's, it cannot be. And the very mind which want to figure it out is already dissolved, like the wave and the ocean wave already is. So being is, of course, people try to figure it out, but one can say all your worries, all your questions, all your problems are vanished. That's why people like to find out the truth and the God, because in the truth, all problems, all questions, all things are vanished. You see? But when you make a goal of it to find it, then again you get lost because you are looking for a thing. Yeah, you take it too serious. Yeah. Then there are other class of people. Oh, I want to help others. I want to help others. I want to build a temple or a church, or I want to help feed the hungry. Of course, all those are flowing of the flow of the kindness, goodness out of the heart. Yes, but the Supreme, once you see that in that, even as we were talking of anesthesia, do you like to give food to the hungry? It already, that is the space where there is no time and space. So this uh, Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Nirvana or liberation, all those are, or enlightened, all those are words which come not even close to the actual, uh, actual, uh, what the liberation indicate toward. Toward mean you are liberated. Liberated from what? From all kind of tensions, all kind of duality, all kind of. So this is a supreme science. It is not like a intellectual thing. It's uh, a silent mind can experience, which is not beyond experience. The people who take uh, drugs and different alteration of the concept of the alteration of the mind, for a while it goes into altered state, but is nowhere close to the realization. Realization means realized. It's not a temporary window. people have said that satsang means company of the truth, which you already are. Nobody can give you. So you go to satsang not because of a reason, but irrespective of all reason. In the physical and material world, you go to someone because of a reason. Because of a reason. You go doctor office for a reason. You go to bank for a reason. This one is beyond reasons because there is no coming, there is no going. In the sound sleep, where do you go? Where do you come? In the sound sleep, where you come, where you go. There is no coming, no going. Yeah. Sound sleep means not that 8 hour sleep, but rather beyond the thinking, beyond the dreaming, beyond that, you are in that, again in the beyond the loop. That's why the time is presented as the cycle, as a circle. And time, mind want to go in the timelessness. Timelessness means where there is no more movement, no coming, no going. Why? Because you came from there. You came from there prior to your bundled up of body mind, which is a knot. Prior to that, prior to the intention or attention, prior to that was that no beingness, no thingness. So naturally, returning to its original source, when you are in that source of all source, the light don't divide and compare. For example, you have 10 lamps here in this room. They don't compare and fight. I'm better, I'm bigger, I'm fatter, I'm smaller. No more comparison because they all are because of the one light. Apparently look different. Apparently look one bigger, smaller. You see the difference? Yeah?
I think so.
The light means not only electric and the light, and then once so it flows through the wires, but it goes through one point to another, you know. So that's why illusory mean appear. The mind is not even your own. It's just bombarded in your head. That's how people change every time. Every time means, those are appearance. White, black, blue, green, this country, that country. Those are all illusions. So body, mind keep on dancing and changing. That's the nature of external. But there is a No mind, which is beyond the senses and body. And that does not react and compare, and that does not even notice, uh, does not get impressed, or it does not worry. And that is the creative intelligence. Creative intelligence don't get involved involved into the mud, and that is called the ultimate intelligence. Or if you want to put words, you can say super creative intelligence, which already is in the being already. Because once the wave is absorbed and dissolved into the stillness, those it does not want anymore, because already it is. Whatever it can seek and illusion and think, because this whole collective consciousness is worried when world war is going. Then people are thinking about weapons and protection. And now, what is the other war going? Nowadays is coming the other conflict of the virus. So they are putting energy into that. So it goes on always up and down. That changes, but deep down is the same, because in the sound sleep there is no becoming. There is no coming, no going. No mind already is prior to that. That's why the little child is already fulfilled and content. You have thing to say?
Okay, so the truth can't be spoken and it cannot be described. So again, how how do you tell how do you know when you see the truth and not the illusion?
See, like the words will confuse you, because, like, we gave the example of the gold and the gold statues. Like uh, gold statues are the same gold, you know, is the same gold. One is the 1 kilo of, you make a statue of Krishna and Jesus and Christ, and 1 kilo of dog and elephant is the same gold, 1 kilo, 1 kilo, 1 kilo.
Mhm.
The jeweler will see it's the same value, but the other one who get identified to the name and form, he will say, "Oh, I'll get attracted to the Jesus Christ, not to the dog." So that's how in the someone said there is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So in the material world it is like dancing. Good turn into bad, bad turn into good. The mind yo-yo, always. The same bad, becomes good for other, good for become. It's like a pattern spectrum. Deep down, uh, all one truth and want the truth and be in the truth. But the mind is always dancing. You're watching a beautiful movie and then you like it. You like it, you watch again, 2 times, 3 times. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. And after a while, you get bored and you start disliking. So that the nature of the mind is always opposite because it's divided in opposite. That's how the material people get so bored and distressed by their own illusory thinking because they live in the life of thinking. You go anywhere outside, super mall, anyway, all people thinking, 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 worried, worried, worried. And most of the talk is about the dollar. How expensive? How will I pay? How all that they're caught up in the web of uh, the money by their own creation because life is becoming virtual and living in the head all the time. Do you see it?
Still don't understand how to recognize it. No.
How to you cannot recognize.
Mhm.
You cannot recognize because the heart already knows.
You just know.
Yeah,
When
it just
when it happens, you know.
yeah, the heart because like uh, it does not need extra paper certificate. The truth, for example, in the body, how does the truth reflect? The truth reflect in the bodily functions. Like you go in the sound sleep. In the sound sleep, you don't want to know, and you do not know because knowledge has no meaning there. The hunger comes. Does it? Somebody need your wife need to tell you are hungry? You already know and you are hungry and someone says, oh, he already just ate, he's not hungry. How can you know? You understand? No one else.
Understand.
Yeah, no one else. So in the body level only the truth appear at the body. Then in the mind you saw somebody sought somebody, and other people, then he start putting a fracture on the same person he sought. So you saw. That's why in the material world called witness. And then you go beyond body and mind, the eternal truth. Eternal truth is way beyond because it's not time bound because the material world is always lie can be decorated with the beautiful words and look like false, fake, and fake can look like true. So that is the drama of the material world. You understand?
Mhm.
Yeah. But deep down, the eternal eternity, the infinite infinity, cannot be messed up and decorated. It cannot be go in the levels. It is why? Because it is no thingness. You cannot mess with it. Human mind cannot, even if you throw a atomic bomb, nuclear bomb, you can't do to it. That's why the soul cannot be cut, cannot be shot, you cannot destroy it. That's what the ultimate Shiva, which is also in the same Jewish religion also, the ultimate cannot be destructed, cannot, because it is called God. It only take the form of generative, operative, destructive. It appear you have put a bomb on Japan or Kasaki and blah blah, but you have done nothing. You cannot do nothing to nothingness because it is beyond doing, beyond thinking, beyond ego, beyond all that. That's why the Akasa. Akasa means beyond going and coming. The clouds do change colors and forms and colors. There is something which is beyond changes. And that's what the body mind always seeking, something which does not change. That's why in your body you want to keep young. In the relationship you want to keep, oh, would you change? Would you change? Because the trust they put in that, they do not want to change. But nowadays material world is more easy to change an apartment, more easy to change a girlfriend, boyfriend, all that external. And that's why superfluous life, artificial life, fake life. But whom you are befooling? Your own being. Living artificial life, fake life. Because it's more easy to change. Change the car, change the vehicle, change. But even if you change, you repeat the same. You repeat. Because inside the law of karma perpetuate. As you sow, so shall you reap. You cannot run away from the eternal truth. The more wiser they are, the more they would learn quickly that as you sow, so shall you reap. If you kill another one, you are killing yourself because the law of karma come with the interest. That's why all religions really indicate toward those are the symptoms toward the truth and light, divine light. Already you are.